There we go. Getting a little lighting, a little extra lighting here. Holy smokes. Okay, we are live. YouTube, push the button. We're live from the Windermere offices in Seattle, Washington. Hey, everybody. Mike Ferreri here, living in Western Washington 425. No, we're not having an earthquake. How about that? It's just getting back at this table here. Well, what a week it's been already. Only a Tuesday. Had a terrific meeting today with one of the folks that has been a guiding presence in my life as far as the world of real estate goes. And I cannot thank her enough for her encouragement, her words, and just being there. It is it's a Tuesday. It's an interesting time. We're looking at June 4th on the calendar. This is like the height of the season when it comes to selling homes in the Seattle area, if you will. You have there's a seasonality to real estate when it comes to the Northwest, and you basically have a really tight market right now. There's more homes coming on, but the main part of it is the lack of inventory. And so there's homes that are out there, but there's just not enough for the buyers. And then also you have folks that are sitting on 2 and 3% interest rates, as we have talked about before on a previous YouTube live. A lot of those folks, why would they move? Because it's only going to cost more for them to move, so they end up staying put. So one thing to consider is getting your house on the market. That's what we're talking about today. We spent a lot of time on buyers. We've talked about seniors in the past, and the seniors that may want to move on, and really the value they have in their homes. We know that. Now, what about everyone when it comes to selling your house? There are three big things I want to talk about today when it comes time to sell your house. What are you going to need to do to sell your home? And so there are three things, and they begin with the preparation. Russell Wilson said it best as quarterback of the Seahawks. There's separation in the preparation. That's exactly what we're going to have. So you got to take some energy. You have to take some time to prepare a home to get ready to go on the market. And so that's going to be number one thing, catching up on deferred maintenance. A lot of folks have lived in their homes for a while. I'll do it later. We'll get that fixed eventually. Things like that. I do it myself. It takes a while. And so deferred maintenance are some of the top things you want to take care of right away. Those include such things as maybe holes in siding on your house. Maybe there is some rotted wood that is water damaged around some windows or doors. You need to get those fixed. There's a lot of things that falls into the category of deferred maintenance. And those are things you want to jump on as quickly as possible to get them fixed before you list. We talked about other issues that could be lagging electrical or plumbing issues. If there's a leak, if there's maybe a light that doesn't work, get those things fixed, replace light bulbs, really have your house on a path to glisten before it goes on the market. And then crawl spaces. It's often that forgotten part of the home. Here in the Northwest, you're either on a slab or the foundation. If you don't have a basement, you do have a crawl space. And the crawl spaces in any area of the country are subject to infestation from varmints, right? Rats, things like that. So you need to make sure that those crawl spaces are clean, that vapor barriers are clean, that there are no leaks. Because the minute an inspector comes in, if you're going to not pre-inspect your home, the minute an inspector comes in, they're going to lift that top. I've done it myself. You lift that top to the crawl space, and oh my goodness, you know that something is not right. It smells like a rat. It smells like there's a varmint in there, a dead animal. You never know, because there are areas around the house that have like metal mesh sometimes, or maybe there's also a hole in some siding that a rat or mouse can get through. Another thing that rats do, especially in the Northwest, I'm not like a rat expert, so I just have hung out with exterminators at times when they've done some work, is they will burrow their way into a crawl space. Forget about holes or access. They're going to come in underneath the dirt and then they're going to pop up. So that's something to consider. So when it's an exterminator, those are folks that you definitely want to have on your team. Another thing too, as you look at baseboards and the trim around your house, lots of times, I know personally, I have a back door, I have a backpack. I leave my house every day. I am normally going to hit that thing about at least, 5 times out of 10. I'm hitting my backpack on the siding, on the baseboards, or the trim around the door. A lot of things like that. You want to go ahead, if it's white, paint it, freshen all that up. All that, you have to do just to make your house glisten. Remember, that's a word, glisten. Let's focus on that word. Um, the outside of your yard. Think about pruning branches off of some trees or bushes in the yard, really cleaning that up. Cutting your lawn regularly. If you're not going to do it, have a lawn service. Just be ready to go ahead and have that lawn look spiffy. You want it to look good, always nice, freshly cut. And then another thing you can do is add mulch. And so there are garden centers that have bags of mulch. You can also hire a company to come in and spread mulch all around the shrubs, bushes, throughout on the landscape. That's really going to make it fresh. It smells good. Usually, depending on who you are, depending on the breakdown, how it is of the soil. So that always adds and also gives your plants a boost. If they're being watered regularly, the new mulch, vitamins, and that are definitely going to help out the plants. And then another thing to consider, I'm all over the map on the suggestions. Carpets, carpet cleaning, especially if you have a pet. You want to get the place cleaned up if you have a pet, because that is um, going into that first weekend. I like to list a home on a Wednesday or a Thursday, and that first weekend you got to get those carpets cleaned Monday or Tuesday. You want it to smell good. You don't want any lingering smells. Smells can deter a buyer very easily. So that is something to definitely consider. And the other big thing to do under this topic of preparation is decluttering. Look at, we all got stuff, right? We have tons of stuff. The stuff just stacks and stacks and stacks. My garage, it's a nightmare. We're working on it, trying to declutter that. But especially when it comes to the inside of your house, declutter. People want to know um, what the space looks like. Allow them to see the potential in a space and declutter. If there's stacks of papers in a corner, if there's books, the less you can have on there, the better it's going to be. So think the less is more in this category. And also, it's always the main rule: don't put pictures of your families up. If you can take your pictures down, if you're serious about moving, if you're going to be going soon, take down the pictures of your family. People don't want to see your family in what could be their potential house. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I have a lot of pictures of my family throughout my house. I would take them all down. That's just the rule of law. And then when it comes down to it, the presentation, this is something that you definitely need to speak with your realtor about and imagine and realize it's a good investment. But staging is one of the most important things you can do, because that decluttering, as people visualize that space, that they want to live in, they also want to visualize what it could look like living in that space with staging. And Stagers, the one I work with, is incredible. She brings a room to life with just enough stuff throughout. It all comes together. It's fantastic. And yeah, I used to be a sportscaster in Seattle. Um, I've learned a ton about how places look, but I'm not going to try to stage your house for you. We have stagers. Stagers do their jobs. That is their specialty. They come in. It's fantastic. Actually, they'll visit a property ahead of time. They'll look at everything and figure out exactly what goes where, and they'll begin to draw up their picture. Then they show up with a truck. They know exactly what goes where, and they bring that house to life. And it's really cool. I've done some flips with my buddy Gard Swanson, and we end up with the empty house, and then we stage it, and it makes all the difference in the world. So that is definitely something to consider. And when it comes to a carpet guy or girl, a contractor for extermination, a contractor for siding, a contractor for your roof, or electrician, plumbing, your stager, all that. Your realtor should have all those. Bottom line, they should have their list. I have my contractor list. I call that my team. They're my go-tos, and every realtor should be able to take care of that. You should not have to go find one yourself. Oh, I'm going to go find an electrician or plumber. No, you don't need to do that. We all have our list, and we all can help you move for that, or they should have a list. All right, number two. This is the biggie, the pricing. Wow. So everyone wants to get top dollar max value for your house. That's just the bottom line. That's human nature. That's capitalism. It's something you have put your heart and soul into, a majority of your family funds. You want top dollar. Why wouldn't we? Of course. So do not overprice your home. Really, it comes down to looking at the comparables in the neighborhood, in the market, where your specific type of house falls. Some of the attributes that it brings to the table are definitely going to make your price go higher, as opposed to someone who maybe doesn't have that back deck or that built-in pool, things like that. Those are all added in, but you need to get the exact pricing because a pretty good stat here in the Pacific Northwest, homes that are more than 5% overpriced based on the recent relevant sales stay on the market longer. And the longer a house is on the market, it could end up costing you. So that is something that you definitely want to do. The comparable market analysis is something that we do, realtors do, and you really pull in a lot of information. It is data. It's hard to argue with data. And ultimately, the seller determines has final say on price. But it should be a discussion. There should be a number of factors that come in, and really getting the max value is important for everybody. And coming to the table with the right value, with the right price, that is ultimately the most important part when it comes to the pricing strategy. Okay, so we have your preparation, your pricing. And so these are the three P's of putting your house on the market. And then the last thing is presentation. Okay, what does that mean? Your presentation. Well, you have got to come on and attract the most amount of buyers into your listing. How does that happen? Well, through the marketing, and your realtor is responsible for that. And so your home, which you just got ready, as we talked about in the preparation, will have wonderful pictures taken because it looks good. You got the grass cut, the trees are trimmed, new mulch is down, painting looks good. The house is wonderfully photographed. That all goes into an MLS. That's what people around the world, literally around the world, are going to see your home on the market if it's put in the right channels. So that is one thing. The listing agent is key to presenting your home and how it gets marketed. Bottom line, they guide the ship on that one. They have the access to the MLS. And they also have different ways that they can get within their sphere, within their network, within their companies to market your home. Pictures should be professionally done. I take a mean picture with my iPhone. I do. But you know what? I'm not going to take a picture of your house that's about to go on the market. Real estate photography is an art. I've gotten to know a number of real estate photographers, and they do a great job. There's lighting entailed. There's a number of different things that go into actually putting together real estate photos, and they need to be professionally done. You should demand that. And if your broker won't pay for it, I pay for mine. Most realtors do. It's part of their marketing plan. They should do that. Uh, I would demand marketing photos professionally done and pay for it myself. If I was listing my house and my broker said, "Oh, I don't want to do that," I will always do that. That is important. You don't need like 10 photos. So you have, like the hamburger when you're talking about a phone. Seattle Kraken right there. Phone, that's the hamburger. So those are how photos go in the MLS. This, of course, is your social media angle, right? That's the taco hamburger. So you don't want hamburger tacos mixed up in your photos with your brother or your listing agent taking a photo with the thumb in the way. I've seen that. That's terrible. I'm just being honest. There's no reason to do that. If you're getting a home listed, have professional photographs taken. It's the bottom line. And coming from a TV background, I really would demand video done of my home if it was going on the market. I believe in it. I do it for all the homes I list. And the key with video is it gives someone the flow and the feel of a property. How many steps up into a door, and then as it goes around a room, they have Matterport and it's all digital and different things like that. A photographer can do, and some people prefer that. But for me, a video's got a nice flow. I will often talk somebody through on a video. You could do just a straight home tour music. That's to video, and those come through in a big way. You have to distinguish who's on the other side of this home listing, your potential home buyer. That is someone that is going to be sitting down and watching a video. So that brings me to my next point when it comes to the presentation. There is interruptive marketing, and that is Instagram, Facebook, scrolling. Oh, that looked good. Scrolling. That looks good. And then there is intentional marketing. The intentional consumer is going to the MLS, it's going to the real estate sites, and it's calling up that video. And that consumer over their morning coffee, if a house goes on early, or in the evening when they're sitting on their laptop in bed or whatever, that intentional consumer is watching that long form video, getting familiar with the house, wondering if they're going to make their way out and actually see that house and go out and put an offer on that house. It spurs somebody or encourages someone to take that next step. They're familiar with the home and they really want to see the space. So to me, video is a very important part. So you have your home videos, which go on the MLS, and then there are other videos which your broker should be putting out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, even you name it, just to get it into the media or social channels among the websites, among the social channels of their brokerages. That always helps. I know Windermere does a great job when they have open houses. Windermere, the six offices in Seattle, open houses get sent, and that becomes part of an open house scroll that's out there, so people can go as the time. It's very helpful. So when you get those pictures done, you get that video done, it trickles down, and it really becomes this marketing rolling ball of marketing for your home. And so those are things that you definitely need to get done, because they're just important. You're doing all the work from the presentation component, having contractors come in, or breaking out the paintbrush yourself and painting those baseboards or getting rooms ready. You're doing all the work. And so you want that house to shine. And I can't stress enough what that opening weekend is like. That first weekend that the home is on, you got to have your open houses. Be ready to go. Have that house shining like it has never before, because you want this to go quickly. So if you do those things, preparation, price, and presentation, remember preparation, price, presentation, the 3 Ps, you get those ready, that is likely going to lead to a fairly quick sale. If everything is where it needs to be and someone sees they're getting value. I cannot stress enough just having your house ready to go, what that does. If there's a pre-inspection for for example, that's a huge help, because that really calls out those problems and it gets ahead of things. I'm a big fan of that. If you're in Seattle, or the outlying areas where the sewer might be questionable, maybe it's older, get a sewer scope. Go ahead and show that this is free flowing, everything is good shape. Someone's not going to be buying a $10,000, $20,000 problem because there's a hole, there's a problem rather where the pipe meets the street, and then there's an argument with the city and the homeowner, like who's responsible. And so there's all those things. And then if it's a septic, get the certificate, get it cleaned. I mean, there's just little things. That's a big thing, a septic clean, but there are things that you can do to set yourself up for success. And while he is a controversial figure, you have to go back to what Russell Wilson said, former Seahawk, of the quarterbacks. There is separation in the preparation. If you prepare, you're going to go faster and have a much better experience than someone who does not prepare and just kind of throws their house on the market thinking that, oh, someone will come buy it. How fast do you want that to go? If you want to expedite the process, you got to think of your 3 Ps: preparation, price, presentation. They're all things to consider, all things that you definitely want to discuss with your broker, and they can get you across the line. It's very important to have someone to guide you on that process. I got to get a drink again. Guide you on that process of preparation, price, and presentation. And leave the presentation to your broker. Let them handle that. You're doing all the work in the preparation part, and then that means you're ready to go. It's green light time. If you're going on the market, push that button to list it. That's what it is. It's all about the green light. So there you have it. Remember, your preparation, the price, presentation. MikeFerreriHomes.com is where you can find me. And if you can, don't forget, go ahead and subscribe to Living in Western Washington 425. This is the YouTube channel here. It's always great to get new subscribers. We do travel around and show you a lot of the neighborhoods here in Western Washington. If you're looking to buy, sell, relocate, or come into town and visit and get a feel for the real estate, if you're going to be moving here, give us a call. We can guide you on that process for sure. And one thing is for sure, if we're going to help you sell your home, we're going to have our 3 Ps ready to go: preparation, price, and presentation. All right, there you go. Happy Tuesday to you. Enjoy the rest of the week. Take care.